Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about a multiple. It's really easy, so I hope that this video will be really quick. A multiple. Well, we've been studying factors. Okay, so we've been doing the factors. So if we went back to our factor tornado, we can see that 6 is the main number that we're talking about. And if we listed the factors of 6, they would be 3, 2, 1, or I'm sorry, 6, 3, 2, and 1. To list the multiples of 6, it's really quite an easy thing to do. All you do is you state your 6 facts. So if you were looking at your multiplication chart, this is going to help you a lot to do multiples. If you were to list the multiples of 2, they would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If you were to list the multiples of 3, they would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. If we were going to list the multiples of 6, they would be, let me get my pen. They would be 6, 12. What's the next one? So that's 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3 is 18. Good. 6 times, so then after 18, we would do 6 times 4, which is 24. 6 times 5 is, what is it? Come on, think of it. 30. So you see, you just keep on going up, okay? So the thing that you want to remember about multiples is they multiply. They get larger, okay? So let me write that over here for you. Multiples get larger. So they start small and they get bigger, okay? So if we were going to list, so the questions that are going to ask you is basically what they're going to say is list the first 5 multiples of 6. So if you were listing the first 5 multiples of 6, you would list 6, comma, 12, comma, 18, comma, 24, comma, 30. And those are the first 5 multiples of 6. Another question that they might ask you is, let me get to another screen. They might say, the almighty science gods, they might say, let me take that, let's go with, is 36 a multiple of 6? You would have to think about your math facts, your 6 math facts. So you would say 1 times 6 equals 6. So just go down in your multiplication chart, just look down the 6th row and see if 36 is in that row. If it is, then you have a multiple of 6. If it's not, then it's not a multiple of 6. Okay? Really, really easy. Take a look at Pearson this week. You're going to have questions that say, write 5 multiples of 14. Now, 14 is not a number that's on your multiplication chart. So what you have to do is you have to actually figure it out, okay? So the first multiple is always going to be that number, okay? So we start with 14, but then you're going to have to find out the other ones. So that's 14 times 1, okay? That's the first multiple. Then you want to do 14 times 2. What's 4 times 2? 8. What's 2 times 10? Remember, that's a 10, not a 1. 2 times 10 is 20. When you add them together, you get 28. So that's my first 2. Then I would do 14 times 3. That's the next one that I have to figure out. 4 times 3 is 12. And then 3 times 10 is 30. You add up on the bottom and you get 42. So that's the next one. Then I'm going to go 14 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 10 is 40. So we're going to add that. And I get 56. So there's another multiple. I have one more to do. Okay, and that's 14 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 10 is 50. And when we add them together, we get 70. So the first 5 multiples of 14 are 14, 28, 42, 56, and 70. So I would click in the box and I would write 14, comma, because it says use a comma to separate answers as needed. 14, 28, let's hope that Miss Norris can do this right. 42, comma, 56, comma, and 70. Let's see if I get it right. Check my answer.